What's going on, everyone? I am Josh with 625 Media, and it is Vlog Sunday. We're going to talk about voiceover, and no, we're not going to talk about how I didn't do anything. You're from the attic. And I was trying to be slick and hit that down arrow, but Oh, so how's it going? It's another Sunday. I am here in the attic with you to talk about what we did this week, what we learned this week, and to drink a little coffee. Yeah. So I hope your weeks went well. Mine was okay. Mine was an okay week. We didn't see the same kind of gains this week overall as we did in the previous week, and we'll get to that here in a minute. Speaking of the ability to speak, so I did finally record a couple demo pieces for our voiceover side hustle. Yes, that's right. Friday night, I got home from work and talked a little bit, and then I came up to the attic, kind of secluded myself up here for a few hours, and got that done. We're going to talk about that here in a little bit because I did get some footage of me going through the process and whatnot, and yeah, I've got some feelings about that. We'll definitely talk about it. But first, let's not waste any more time. Let's just get right into it and see how we did, or how we are doing at this point. All right, so stats, always fun. Blog views. So far this month, we are at 141 page views. We are on pace to have a better month in August than we did in July. Again, I'm going to preface this with, no, these are not insane numbers. We are not wildly successful by any means, but progress. We are showing progress, and our efforts are paying off. Now, while the previous week we were down maybe about 20% when it came to page views from week 5, where we saw our best day ever, but still steady. The increases are really being seen in social media following, especially Instagram, and we're going to talk maybe just a little bit about that here in a minute, but really seeing some steam building. It's a small cloud of steam right now, but that could turn into a big cloud of steam as we keep moving forward. Ad revenue and t-shirt revenue, we're still at $0. Nothing paid out for ad revenue, but I can tell you the latest number that I saw, I've made 13 cents. 13 cents. Yay. I can buy nothing with that, but it's a start. I don't know what it is. I really need coffee today. User testing. So far in the month of August, paid out to us $100. There's still, I think, 3 or 4 tests that still need to be paid out, and we've got plenty of month left to do that. So I think that if I really hit it heavy and neglect everything else, I'll hit that $300 mark for the month. But if I keep my other activities up, I don't know that we're going to hit that $300 mark this month, and that's okay. That's okay. We're still getting something out of it, and it's still making an impact for us as we go through life, right? So, $320 overall since we started this journey. Doesn't seem like a lot, but think about that. That's 32 total tests that we've done. Some of them paid out $20, so we're looking at roughly 30 tests, give or take. It's not bad. All right, so what did we learn? What did we learn? I actually struggled trying to think of what lessons did I learn this week. And it wasn't until Friday and yesterday, and even a little bit today, that I realized what it was that I had learned. But the to-do list. So I had a post up on Thursday about creating a simple and effective to-do list. Go check that out. It's not going to be earth-shattering. It's probably something that you're thinking, yeah, right, I know all of this, Josh. Why are you telling me this? But if you remember, I was trying to block out time for different tasks, and what we were talking about last week is it just wasn't working. So I came up with a to-do list, and I'll tell you what, that to-do list is working on many levels. and we'll talk about that as well before we go. Never forget to plan your content. This is gonna come up again here in just a few minutes when we talk about the voiceover demo recording and the footage that I put together. You definitely need to plan, and it shows that I didn't plan for that. Having a question right now, and it's not really a learning thing. I guess maybe I'm learning a little bit about myself when it comes to this question, but should I consider adding another day for content? So right now, as far as the blog goes, I am posting new content on Thursdays and then on Sundays with Vlog Sunday. But what I'm finding when it comes to my social media efforts, I'm reposting the same thing, like Monday through Thursday, just the same things over and over again. And if I've only got a couple pieces of new content to throw in there, my rotation is going to get stale. It's going to get very stale. So I am toying with the idea of adding one more day of new content per week. Here's the flip side of that, and here's what I'm trying to be careful of. One, I don't want to overdo it and get myself into a situation where I've got no free time for myself, for anyone else. And am I just being overly anxious about progress? Do I want to see progress much more quickly than I should? Because that's also dangerous. We want to see progress. We want to see growth, and we want to see it quickly. But if we grow too quickly, we might not be able to keep up. So I'm going to be asking myself that question. I may throw in some extra content here and there to see what those effects are. But for right now, I'm just going to ask the question, and I'm not planning on actually implementing that yet. We'll see, but not yet. So finally, I'm learning that the stats are improving for the blog. Now, with WordPress, it's got its own built-in statistics, basically page views, refers, things like that. I took a look at Google Analytics this morning because it's been a little while since I've really looked at it, really compared some numbers, and we're seeing some really good improvements. Now, they're not drastic improvements, but they're steady improvements that we're seeing, like page views, the number of new users, and bounce rate. So bounce rate is down almost 20% from the last time we looked. Remember, a few weeks back we looked, and it was at like a 60% bounce rate, which that's more than half of the people there are getting to a page and then leaving very quickly. That's down to about around 42% now, which means that either one, my content is getting better. Two, there's enough content now that's relevant to what people want that they're jumping around. Or three, it's both. So I'm going to keep an eye on that as well, just to see if maybe it was just a fluke. I hope it's not a fluke. I hope it's actually real progress there. But we're definitely going to keep an eye on that because it's very exciting to see that. Actually, the number of new users are up. My existing users or return users, excuse me, that's pretty low right now. So while I'm going to celebrate the newfound improvement in the blog, I also need to keep those people coming back, and that's going to be the issue moving forward, I think. So that's it for the week. Let's talk about voiceovers. No, excuse me. So voiceovers, it's the whole reason that this even started. I've told the story. In February, I was kind of like, I've got a job. I want to do something more than just work for a paycheck. So I decided that I wanted to try to get into voiceover. Long story short, I didn't do anything with it, and then this summer, this whole thing started. Okay? For a month and a half, I've been sitting here on Sundays telling you, yeah, I need to do more. I didn't touch it. I didn't do anything with it. I didn't touch it. Here's a blog post about something that I haven't touched. So Friday night, I sat myself down right in this seat and I finally recorded some demo material. Now, is it the best demo material that's ever been produced? No. No, not even close. I'm limited to my own personal knowledge and the equipment that I have available to me, and it's not top of the line. It really isn't. I mean, it works well for what I'm doing, but to say that it's like top of the line or anything like that, that would be no, there's no way. But what I was able to produce is, I think, is good enough for now. While we move forward and try to improve upon that, which is all part of it. I can't just record these two. And it's two different pieces, each just under a minute long. I can't just do those and then just set them out there and hope that they do something. We've got to keep, just like with the blog, you've got to keep cycling in fresh content for people to see. But anyway, excited that I actually got that done. It's mixed. It's uploaded to one of the sites that I'm using. I'm going to start looking at some other sites though, because I uploaded these pieces, and the site that I'm using, I mention it in the voiceover blog post. Covoco or Covoco. It's Covoco. It doesn't seem all that active. Now it's free. I like free. Free is good for me right now, but it doesn't seem like it's that active. Like, I uploaded the files and it's like, okay, we'll be in touch. Who's going to be in touch? You're going to be in touch, or somebody else is going to be in touch if they actually find me. Yeah. So I'm going to find some other venues to do that. I'm going to get back on Fiverr, create a new job there. I'm going to check up Upwork as well. And that's a question I want to pose to you guys. Have any of you tried Upwork, and what were the results? Because I know it's a more professional level kind of freelancing. And not that Fiverr isn't, but they kind of market themselves as like the upscale Fiverr. Or at least that's the impression that I get. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's the impression that I get from it. So I'm going to be trying some of that out. But that brings me to what I really wanted to discuss about it, because when I've talked about it with you guys, I've mentioned that, I'm going to record the process, and I'm going to, share with you, what I went through as I'm recording these things, which I did. I recorded, I grabbed my other camera and, set up on the tripod over here and got some different angles, really more just kind of around me, because there's a wall right behind the computer monitor here. Sorry, it's really, I'm putting my hand in the light. Shiny objects. Anyway, there is a wall behind the monitor here, so to get a shot like this with a different camera is a little difficult. So I did get some footage kind of like this of me mixing and editing the WAV files. So I got all the video files off of the one camera and threw it all into a Premiere project to start editing down and link up some audio, because I did record some of the audio, most of the audio through the microphone, so at least it was somewhat decent. And I started watching, and I got about 3 minutes into it, and I wanted to cringe. I had great intentions. I feel I had great intentions. Okay. Opinion. I wanted to share with you what I went through recording my own demo in my own attic, mixing and mastering and all of that on my own. The result, if I had to make an excuse, the result is it was because I was tired. I'd been up since like 5:30 that morning. I'd gone to work. I'd come home, rush hour traffic. Um, it was 11:30 at night when I'm sitting here mixing and recording, and I sound like I've got no clue what I'm doing, which is okay. If I repeatedly said, I'm new to this, I'm learning as I go. But it sounds like I've got no clue what I'm doing because I am just rambling and rambling and rambling and just saying things to fill space. And acting like these things that I'm saying are incredibly useful pieces of knowledge. I'm going to have to go back and watch it again because I don't want to show myself in that way. And it's a side of me that some have seen, and it's not very flattering. Now, again, I can't be overly worried about what everyone thinks. Because if I'm overly worried about everyone thinks, this camera never comes on, and I never come to you on Sunday afternoons, mornings, whatever time it is that you're watching. But this is bad. Now, on the bright side, the demos actually sound pretty good. I mean, in the end, they sound pretty good. They're not perfect, but they're close enough to get us going, get the ball rolling, show some people, hey, I can speak into a microphone and sound halfway decent. The other bright spot is that the footage that I got is still usable, but not in the way that I originally intended. So I'm working on a new piece for Thursday, which is it's going to be another vlog, but it's going to be talking about some of the lessons that I've learned, I guess, after the fact, and then watching myself back and listening to myself talk about these things. But I will be continuing to put together some more demo material, and as I do that, and as I get back in the groove of that, because that was the other part of it, it'd been so long since I'd really had to sit down and think about, okay, what do I need to do? What effects do I need to use? What do I need to tweak? What don't I need to tweak? I need to make sure that it's not overly processed, things like that. And that was the other part of the problem. Oh wait, I forgot what I was doing. Oh yeah, I need this. So we'll see how this turns out, but it's going to be totally different than what I originally anticipated. And ultimately, I can make all the excuses in the world, but it really comes down to planning. I had planned on sharing with you my experience. I had planned on recording some very short scripts to use as some demo material. What I had not planned was how I was going to take you through that process. And it resulted in almost wasted effort. So now I got to expend a little bit more effort to record some more video in order to give you something that is actually worth your time. That's the way I'm going to put it, because it's all worth my time. It's all, I'm learning from all of the experience, even if I don't use all of it. But I need to make sure it's worth your time, because you're the one that's giving up your time to come and visit me, to read what I'm doing, to listen to what I'm saying. All right, real quick before we go, social media. So this week, our social media usage continued. I maintained as much as possible. I don't think I was as active as I had been in the previous week, but I was still active. I was still posting things once a day at least. at least to the main the main three: Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. I'm still trying to build the Instagram following because it's still fairly new. What I found, the Twitter following is still very low, but it's starting to get a new follower here and there. Facebook, most of my traffic comes from Facebook, but there's no interaction. And then Instagram, I'm new to Instagram, or at least 625 Media is new to Instagram, and we're getting new followers every day and actually getting some interaction. You got me. You got me here because I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong on the other ones because it's got me. I'm like barely been on Instagram and I've already got more. I've got 5 times as many followers on Instagram as I do on Twitter. Now, put that in perspective. My Twitter following is 7 people. So there's only 30 to 40 followers on Instagram, but in a week, for someone who's only posting once a day and who's really never been that active in social media, I'll take it. I will take the win because that's what I'm considering that. So that leads me to believe that we need to rethink our social media strategy just a little bit. Pinterest is also, I've slacked on the Pinterest. I'm still pinning my posts to my boards when they get posted. But my free trial of Tailwind is up. So I either need to pay for it or I need to find a new strategy there. And I think I'll go with a new strategy when it comes to Pinterest because I have dedicated now Mondays to my social media scheduling. So like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, I can schedule that all out either through Tailwind with Instagram, which that's just a free trial. But I can also do those 3 with Hootsuite. So I will likely continue to schedule those out. In fact, my daily questions, I schedule those in the morning to post sometime early afternoon before I start work. So I've got a lot of options there, but I think my approaches are what need to change when it comes to social media. So we're going to be looking at that, but I want to ask you, what social media approaches work best for you when it comes to Twitter and or Facebook? Pinterest is pretty self-explanatory. Use images that are actually related to your content. Use keywords related to your content, and make sure you're repinning it to relevant boards. Have multiple boards that you can repin it to. Get into pin groups, things like that. I think that's down the road for me, but we'll start developing a strategy there. But I'd like to know what your strategy is, what works, and what have you read that people have told you works, but then you find out it doesn't work at all. Let me know. Let me know in the comments, or you can let me know on social media. Hey, all right, 625 Media. All right, you can find us on all of the major social medias. That's why I've got the icons up there. All right, I didn't think we were going to run this long this week, but it looks like I can't change my ways. All right, so that's really all I've got for you this week. So what we're going to be doing, just to kind of give you a heads up, some new video content is going to come out this week related to the voiceover demo. I'm going to be also looking into some other places for the voiceover work, and I'll try to document as much of that as possible as well, just so we can kind of follow along and you can learn from my mistakes, or at least get a first-person view of what it looks like to go on and into some of these sites. So maybe we'll do it almost like a live to tape stream. I don't think I'm going to be live streaming yet, but maybe I'll do it in kind of the same fashion and see what we can do, see what we can see. Sound good? All right. So if you haven't yet, go check out the Thursday's blog post about creating a simple, effective to-do list. It does work. It does work. At least so far. All right, I'm Josh. This has been Vlog Sunday. I'm going to enjoy my coffee. And whatever it is that you're enjoying this Sunday, I hope you enjoy it to the fullest. We'll see you next time.